Sounds a little bit bombastic.
But they tripped the line.
We tripped the line. They tripped the line. Fantastic!
This actually was my first musical, and I've always wanted to do a
it
musical.
really?
Yeah, I've never done a musical before. I've always wanted to. When Rob got in touch with me, I actually already knew he was doing Mary Poppins. So I thought, God, I hope it's the Mary Poppins. So, I mean, I immediately said, yes, I'm desperate to do a musical. I'd love to do it.
I remember even with the Trip a Little Light Fantastic number that Rob had this vision. He wanted my skirt to sort of flow and fly around. And Sandy was like, well, it's not quite period. And so how do we sort of make it period without sort of...
Well, the reference was actually Ginger Rogers.
Totally.
He wanted Mary Poppins suddenly to become Ginger Rogers. So, yeah, but we did that. We had her silhouette is very long and elegant and sleek, but the costume maker, Jane Law, managed to sort of conceal these plethora of pleats in the skirt. So when she turned, it was very ginger.
It was very ginger.
The arrival probably is the most important. And for me, it was the most intimidating thing to tackle. Because, you know, she had to be instantly recognisable. We had to recognise her from the previous Mary Poppins, but yet it had to be different and not disappoint anybody.
Yes, and I think the thing I found really exciting about the arrival costume is that it's sort of representative of really who she is and how I wanted to play her, that amazing duality of the character that I found when I read the books, that she has this rather sort of like imperious, put together, very vain, you know, exterior, and yet on the inside there's a sort of wildness and an eccentricity. And so the lining of the coat was this fabulous bright orange polka dot lining, and that is so the character, you know, this rather austere, like beautiful blue put together peacoat. Would you call it a peacoat? I'm probably saying
No,
Emily.
Not a peacoat. I think a peacoat's like military.
I don't know what I'm. This is why I'm not a costume designer. This is a gorgeous coat. But the inside is wild and eccentric. You've got a little bit of sass and a little bit of edge, that it wasn't too matronly, too nanny-ish, you know. It's like, because she is...
No, I mean, she had to be elegant, and Rob wanted chic. You know, chic. Mary Poppins is chic.
He likes chic. It's one of Rob's
favourite words. He didn't say sexy, because I don't think Mary Poppins shouldn't be sexy, but she's a little bit, isn't she? I mean, she's a bit.
I think she's a bit sexy, but whatever.
I knew that we were going to do an animated scene, like the original. And my first thought really was, how do we approach those costumes? Because as much as I love the original, it was the first one I ever saw, I always thought that they kind of stood sort of separate from the animation, the live action characters. I wanted to sort of make them more integrated. And I thought, why don't we try and make the costumes look as if they've been painted by the animators and become part of it.
When we arrive in the bowl, it looks like there's ruffles on my skirt, but they're all painted. It's actually a 2D skirt, but they're gorgeous hand-painted ruffles, and so the blend of us into the world was so seamless. And that was her extraordinary idea.
And then in terms of the colour for the whole look, obviously we were looking to have a contrast from the real world and inside the Banks's house to go into this world of like really bright colour. And I think I just chose colours that I liked. We started with the costumes and the colour of those, and then the animators sort of followed and built a world around that. For me, that's just really exciting, because that whole idea of those costumes was an experiment, really. It was a risk I took, and we didn't know whether it was going to work. So to actually see it working is extraordinary.